Hi everyone, my name's Claire and I'm a beauty therapist, self-employed. I run my own business. So I'm here today to talk to you about my coaching experience with Helen. So my situation before I met Helen was I'd got myself back to wedding weight. I've got 2 young children, 20 months between them. I'd got myself back to wedding weight. I was super pleased with that. It was a struggle, it was hard work, but I'd managed to get there. My motivation though for the coaching to take that another level was I then found out I was pre-diabetic, and when they assessed my diet, they thought it was really good, so they couldn't suggest things that I needed to take out of my diet. They just said to me I needed to lose 10% of my body weight. At which point I spoke to Helen about coaching, because I was like, I've done all this stuff and I've got back to wedding weight, which is amazing, but I don't know how to take this further. I don't know how to make this better. I was really frustrated and quite down about how I was going to make that happen, because obviously I didn't want to sort of be going into diabetes and be causing myself more issues there. So my goal was this 10%, which was £11 to lose, which felt like this absolute mountain. But once I started my coaching with Helen, a week in, I realised actually this was going to be really manageable. So my eating habits previously, which kept me stuck, was I'd always skip lunch. So as I mentioned at the beginning, I'm self-employed. So just when I'm in work, I work. And don't stop, basically, because I don't get paid for a lunch break. But then what would happen is I'd probably graze on a few things throughout the day, because people very kindly, my clients, know that I don't stop for lunch breaks, so they bring me things in, but they'd be like cake or biscuits or chocolates or whatever. And then I'd have a massive meal in the evening, because I'd be like, well, I haven't eaten all day, so that's all right. But I had been eating, I just hadn't been registering that food. And I was then eating in excess because I was starving, as opposed to managing and using, as I now do, Helen's appetite pendulum to know when I'm hungry and to work around that, as opposed to waiting till I'm absolutely starving. And equally, I eat not till I'm silly full that I feel sick. It's getting that equilibrium and that balance of it. And in the first week, I lost just over 2.5 pounds, which I was absolutely awestruck with, because I never really felt stupidly hungry. I feel physically and mentally so much brighter, fitter, lighter. My energy levels are out of this world now compared to what they were. I can't believe the day-to-day state I was actually in, and just thought that was okay. Now I know how much better I can feel. I'm just like, oh my God, how did I do this? How did I get through the day with just myself, let alone 2 young children? So the benefits to all of us, my kids get a better me. It's just been hugely productive for all of us. I would describe coaching with Helen as an absolute game changer. She's so understanding. She's adaptive, she listens, she's always trying to give you options to help. There's always a solution, there's always something just to tweak, and nothing's a big deal, nothing's hard. Just absolutely wonderful, absolutely wonderful. What surprised me the most is how well I can eat and how much weight I've lost. I didn't just lose the £11 I needed to lose. I've just continued with my new eating habits, and I've lost just over 2 stone. So I've never been this weight in my life whilst eating. It's been through sort of intermittent starving, going to the gym in excess, like being very extreme in my actions to get to this weight. Whereas I eat 3 meals a day with my kids. I snack if I need to. I mean, don't get me wrong, we all have sort of days off and things like that. So there are days that I don't sort of stick to that plan. But I say plan, it's just a way of life. And it's a really easy way of life, and I absolutely love it because I can eat absolutely anything. I would recommend this to every man and his dog. It is amazing. I literally tell anybody who I have the opportunity to speak to about it. A lot of people who I see, well, everybody I see has obviously noticed at this point how much weight I've lost. And everybody's always interested, I think, in seeing a better them, a slightly slimmer them. But people, I think, are questioning because they're, they'll see me still eat it. If I go for a drink with friends or we meet for coffee and cake, I still have the cake. And they're like, how are you eating cake and you've lost weight? I'm like, because that's how this plan works. You can eat whatever you want as long as you're making those balances elsewhere. So whereas previously I would have gone for coffee and cake, and before I'd gone I would have been like, oh, I'll just have a sandwich or something before I go because I've got to eat something proper. I can't just have cake for lunch. Obviously you can't have cake for lunch every day. But actually on those occasions, I can have, that item for lunch. It's all the other items I was having previously, thinking I had to have before I could have the treat of a cake. And that's where Helen helps you realise that actually you can have anything. So you're not having to reward yourself with these treats, because you can have those things as long as you're adapting sort of your day and the rest of your habits around it. So it's just such a flexible, easy thing. I just say, any of you, please sign up. She's an absolute Wonder Woman. It's the best thing I've ever done. Thank you so much, Helen.